Episode 4 of The Decline Before the Storm. How Crumbling Empires Made World War I Inevitable. Welcome back to History and Facts. In the last episodes, we explored how industrial power, nationalism, and military strength reshaped the world before World War I. But power alone does not start global wars. Weakness does. Because by 1910, Europe was not just rising. It was cracking from within. Old empires were failing. Political systems were breaking. Entire populations were losing faith in their rulers. Tonight, we step away from factories and armies and look instead at decline. This is the story of collapsing empires and why their failure made war unavoidable. Chapter 1: The Age of Dying Empires. For centuries, Europe had been ruled by empires. They controlled vast lands, diverse peoples, and ancient traditions. But by the early 20th century, these empires were no longer stable. They struggled with ethnic divisions, economic inequality, political paralysis, popular unrest. Modern weapons had evolved faster than political systems. The result was a dangerous imbalance. Empires that once dominated the world were now too weak to reform, yet too powerful to disappear quietly. Chapter 2: The Ottoman Empire, the sick man of Europe. The Ottoman Empire was once feared across 3 continents. By 1900, it was collapsing. Territories in the Balkans were breaking away. European powers interfered openly in Ottoman affairs. Corruption weakened the government. The army lagged behind modern European forces. Railways were incomplete. Industry was minimal. Finances were controlled by foreign banks. Every loss encouraged rebellion. Every reform attempt created backlash. The empire survived, but barely. And everyone in Europe knew it. They did not ask if the Ottoman Empire would fall. They argued over who would take the pieces. Chapter 3: Austria-Hungary, too many nations, one crown. Austria-Hungary looked strong on maps. In reality, it was deeply fractured. Germans, Hungarians, Czechs, Slovaks, Croats, Serbs, Romanians. All trapped under one imperial system. Each group wanted its own language, its own parliament, its own future. The emperor ruled, but he did not unite. Industrial growth favored some regions and ignored others. The army struggled with communication. Loyalty depended on ethnicity, not empire. Most dangerous of all, Slavic nationalism was rising. Austria-Hungary feared one thing above everything else. If one nation broke free, the entire empire would collapse. Chapter 4: Russia, a giant with cracked foundations. Russia looked unstoppable. Massive land. Huge population. Endless resources. But beneath the surface, Russia was unstable. Industrialization arrived late and uneven. Millions of peasants lived in poverty. Cities filled with angry, exploited workers. The Tsar ruled absolutely, yet understood modern politics poorly. The army was enormous, yet poorly equipped and badly led. Defeat in the Russo-Japanese War humiliated the empire. Revolution in 1905 nearly overthrew the monarchy. Reforms were promised. Most were never delivered. Russia feared collapse. And leaders believed only foreign success could restore authority. Chapter 5: France, strong, but traumatized. France had recovered industrially. But emotionally, it was wounded. The loss of Alsace-Lorraine to Germany in 1871 haunted the nation. Every generation grew up remembering defeat. Politics became bitter and divided. The army was powerful, but cautious. France feared Germany's growth. Feared being left behind. Feared fighting alone. So France searched for allies. Prepared defensively. Waited anxiously. France was not collapsing. But it was living in the shadow of loss. Chapter 6: Britain, strong, but stretched thin. Britain ruled the seas. Yet even Britain felt pressure. The empire was vast. Defending it was expensive. Industrial competitors were catching up. Germany's navy threatened British dominance. Colonial conflicts drained resources. Social reforms demanded attention at home. Britain remained powerful, but no longer invincible. For the first time in centuries, Britain felt the need to choose sides. Chapter 7: When Decline Becomes Dangerous. By 1914, Europe was unstable not because it was strong, but because it was uneven. Some nations were rising. Others were collapsing. All were afraid. Weak empires feared rebellion. Strong nations feared encirclement. All feared losing status. And when fear rules politics, compromise disappears. One crisis would be enough. One assassination. One ultimatum. One miscalculation. And a system already weakened by decline would finally break. In the next episode, we will see how this fragile world reacted when that moment finally arrived. When diplomacy failed. When alliances activated. And when Europe crossed the point of no return. Thanks for watching the complete video. Please follow and subscribe to History and Facts for more upcoming interesting videos.